Yeah, so when approaching this material, Lisa Loomer has made updates to the script, and you're handling that with care. She's already gone to effect, and we're approaching it now with the sense of mind, the totality of the history of Roe v. Wade. But I think something about this is we have a lot of faces that are going to be in this production. With you two specifically, how does your lived experience seeing the full effect of Roe v. Wade from its initiation to now in 2022 affect how you carry this material on stage?
Well, I'm not that old. I was born in 72, so I was still an infant. But I have not lived any of my life with it not being in place. Mm-hmm. That's the first part of the question. I do remember the morning that I found out. I had a rehearsal. I think it was for Shanktown or whatever, and I was in tears. I didn't realize what was going to happen, but it was just like a blow. It was, I think one of the questions was something about like a loss of a family member. It was just a loss of control. I mean, yourself, and I walked into the rehearsal hall, and our stage manager, we just looked at each other, and all the women in the room just looked at each other and didn't have to say a word, and felt the heaviness, of that. What was this? I don't remember the second part of your question now that I kind of went there.
We can talk on that. This grieving, this loss, like how is it initiating how your duty to carry this message? I know Irene is not wanting a specific message or point of view to be at the forefront, but how does this lived experience with it being overturned, with living in a period where it was in effect affecting you now, and how is this process helping as a catharsis to deal with this loss?
Okay. Well, I hope that the audience is not going to be the choir. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people don't see this as a loss. Correct. They are celebrating it. Correct. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the beauties of this play is it presents both sides. Okay. Now, my coming into it, I have to set aside how I'm feeling because of the character that I play. Mm-hmm. I play somebody who is happy that Roe v. Wade has been overturned, and I need to find the truth in his story. So I have to set aside my own personal feelings in order to portray this character as faithfully and truthfully as possible. Yeah. They say that acting is, telling the truth under imaginary circumstances. But right now, at this stage, because we haven't started the rehearsal process yet, as I learn my lines, me too. I feel like I'm telling a lie under imaginary circumstances because I have to say certain things that I don't necessarily prescribe to. So I need to find his truth in order to tell his truth under imaginary circumstances. Yes. And I'm looking forward to that, actually. I love finding characters who are very different than me, but finding the commonality and understanding the way that they're looking at the world as opposed to the way that I look at the world. Because that's one of the problems that we have in this world is there's these two sides that are just, dogmatic in terms of how they're approaching each other. So if I can set foot in this other perspective, which is like my dad's perspective, I'm always trying to understand where my dad is coming from. So this is kind of therapy for me.
Yeah, it's a lot, yeah.